So my intentions for the call, I know Olivia wants to do some covenant things. I don't care. We need to really just finalize the terms. We need to get a PDF of the terms, and I just want to make sure that it's at least one last check through them, that they're all perfect, so that we can hatch, because it's the last check mark the legal group has, is to update the terms and figure out, make sure they're in the right place and all that in the Git book. And that's my core intention. Distractions. People are walking in. Septimus is upstairs. Sam walks by. There's like, my friends keep coming through. It's really cool. So sometimes if I'm off screen, I'm probably giving someone a hug. And this weekend, I'm actually going to go to an indoor skydiving thing. You know, like this fan that blows you up, like, and you just kind of like float there. I don't know. I'm gonna do that and then work a lot. Like, it's time to hatch. So I'll pass it to Livia.
That sounds so exciting. It's like a dream. I always wanted to do that. I didn't even know it was so available. That's awesome. Yeah, this weekend I'm gonna cut my hair finally because I can't even look at it anymore. And I've been doing massages on Saturday, and this has been working very well. So this Saturday I have another shiatsu session, and I don't know. I guess just preparing some things also for traveling. Finally got my ticket towards Paris, and intentions for this call is, yeah, of course, give priority to the hatch. And I think also being aware that the covenant, like I was feeling so stressed and guilty about it, but there is some time in between during the hatch, we can still be working on it. I did have some progress today, but also there was the governance call and some other documents that needed attention there. But I think we're in a good track, and we can just take a look at it at the end of the call. And distractions, maybe I'll be like working on that while you guys are talking about the hatch stuff. And I'll pass to David.
Hey, good morning, folks. Check out the threads.
Yeah.
And I'm just it's one of those mornings where you wake up too early and you can't go back to bed, and so you finally just say, screw it, I'll get out of bed and see what happens, and got to take the garbage out too. And turned on the calendar, and lo and behold, a 7 a.m. TEC Legal Weekly sync on the calendar. So I just thought I'd pop in and learn what the legal group's about, and with that, I'll shut up and get to learning. No distractions, other than I may have to refill my coffee halfway through. So go for it. Thanks. I'll pass it to Mount Manny.
Wait, what are you doing this weekend?
Oh, this weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
geez. I have no plans yet. So I have 2 teenage daughters. My life revolves around them as the chauffeur and this and that. And one got out camping yesterday. Probably a few trips of chauffeuring the younger one to her job at a restaurant. That's all. Good times. Yeah. Okay. Over to Manny. Thanks.
Thanks, David. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so intentions, I just want to see what legal is up to. I'm curious about how, the closeness to the hatch affects our legal team and the things that you're doing. And yeah, no distractions. And for the weekend, I'm going to play with my nephews. Love playing with them on Sunday, and I'll just work on the posts that they gotta be ready for the hatch. I'll finish them, and Chewy and I are working on a new video idea that we're gonna keep low key until it's ready, and you're gonna like it for after the hatch. We want to make it viral, and yeah, that's it. I'll pass it to Septi.
Yeah, thanks, Manu. Yeah, my intentions is, go through these documents, see, I mean, I don't feel like I'm supporting legal documents, but just see them and be aware. from myself. And yeah, plans for the weekend. I mean, I will use the time of the weekend at least to write about the token flow. And yeah, rest. And yeah, I'll pass it to Chui.
Thank you, Septi. Plans for the weekend. I have to catch up with everything. Like I slept the whole day yesterday. Yeah, I woke up like and I started feeling really sick, and then like my body just like gave up. And I feel much better today, but yeah, that's probably one of my distractions. Just like I'm gonna be catching up with close to 24 hours of not paying attention to Discord or Telegram. Oh, and as for this weekend, I'm just gonna get a bunch of stuff ready for Paris, and yeah, I'm gonna go to downtown to get some stuff that we need. It's some candy that Sam's kids wanted, like some Mexican candy that they saw on the internet or something. It's super common here. I don't know. Like I got it's tajin, Manu. Uh, it's like a chili powder or something. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get a bunch of those. And yeah, I guess that's it for my weekend. I'll pass it to Sean.
Morning, everyone. So intentions, I think, are pretty simple. We have to finalize the hash documents without Santi here. If someone can pull them up from the agenda, we'll be able to go through them. And I think that should be a relatively easy discussion. Distractions, it's 7 a.m. here, so I'm making my tea and coffee. And as for the weekend, my 4 nieces and nephews are coming into town. So I'll be getting to go down and see them this weekend, and we'll be doing Disneyland next week and all the usual kid stuff when you're in Southern California. So that's it. Let's see, who hasn't gone? Griff, you're always good at knowing who hasn't gone, so I'm going to pass it back to you.
How did you know? Zare 8. There is someone. He just hopped in though. It's kind of like cheating. So hey Zare, what should we call you? Is Zare?
No, it's like 0, but with an 8 instead of like 0.
Okay, so just 0. We just call you 0.
Yeah, it's 0 brain. But
Okay, 0 brain. 0 brain. The question is intentions for the call, distractions that are happening in the real world for you, maybe, or and then what are you up to this weekend?
like I'm gonna go to the mountainside. There's a lake, whatever, chilling out like with no internet and stuff over there, like something like that. And after that, back to DAOing. What are you guys up to?
We already said it, but then do you have any intentions or distractions for the call?
Just listening. I have no distractions. Like I just wanna see what you're doing on the legal channel.
Nice. So perfect. Well, I'm in the legal agenda doc. Is it TEC Terms? Okay, there.
It'll be called proposal terms. Will be hash terms is the big one. Sorry about that. And so the first time we may see it may be, no, we already got it. There you go.
Yeah, it was TEC Terms, but it's really TEC.
Yeah, it should be say hash.
So I updated this guy so it has all the right numbers in it. And I think I updated all of this, but what I would say is I'll post this in here, and it would just be great. Maybe I don't know, Sean, if you have had a time to go through it, but it would just be great if everyone is down to read this, and if they they understand something or don't understand something, or it doesn't make sense, or like typo, or it's just straight up lying about something, fix it. Sean, do you have any other ideas? I was thinking maybe we just play some music and.
Yeah, so in terms of things that I had questions about, there should be highlights in there. As we scroll a little bit further down, we'll start running into them. In terms of things that were confusing, I think we started going over that a couple of weeks ago in terms of the quorum numbers, which appear a few paragraphs before the first highlight. And yeah, that's going to be right about right there, right underneath there. And so as far as I'm concerned, I think it's relatively clear. But I do know that most people that have been reading the terms look at this, and I think if they have not been kind of deep diving in the proposals and the params debate, that this is the paragraph that seems to trip people up in terms of what exactly does it mean, or what does it mean to have 88%, 8%, and I love the numbers. I get the memification of why 8 was kind of the popular number, but it has nothing to do with the fact that I think quorum voting and hitting a quorum it's relatively confusing. Like, read the U.S. Constitution. It's hard to figure out like how many people have to be present for a vote in Congress to be proper. So that's a paragraph where if other people read it, they should see if it makes sense. If not, it's easy to expand. It's not hard. It's just a question of how much we want to talk. The more you talk, ironically, the less people end up listening. So like if you ever pull out, a prescription drug and you look at the list of like all the problems that can happen, no one reads it because it's too long. That's the two tensions there. Short enough that people get it, but long enough that people understand it. So if that's a paragraph there, if other people want to see it, take a look at it, and please point out if it's not clear.
Yeah, so I only see one other person in this document. I don't know if you guys are down to actually help co-edit this document, but this is the last chance to get our legal terms right before the hatch. So
yeah, no, we're 3 days. So I mean, if it's literally like if you read it now and don't understand it, we need to edit it. So that we if we want to keep kind of hustling through this, so we can go back and revisit. If you scroll back up, Griff, the first highlight after that paragraph is going to be the TEC Code of Conduct, which my assumption would be we need a link there. I'm not sure if what we meant was the pledge constitution, or if it's more just the TEC Code of Conduct that I think was in the Discord server.
I think it's this one.
Perfect. Then all we need to do is link to the GitBook about it. And I'm happy to make that edit, or you can make it edited in there.
Would you say this is the TEC Code of Conduct is the best place for it is the GitBook?
Yeah, I think we have it all in the GitBook.
Okay, cool. As long as I assume this is the most up to date, but.
And the GitBook really should be kind of the main place where most of our documents are sitting, because it's just so much stuff ends up there that's the, more times than not should be the place we send people to.
Yeah, my to-do list after this is to make this into a PDF and post it on the GitBook and give it to the common swarm to post it on the Hatch page.
Okay, so after the Code of Conduct, I think there was another highlight relatively close to that, but I could be wrong. Nope, I was wrong. Okay, so let's keep going down a little bit.
Because I totally rewrote this to remove the cultural tribute and to have the Hatch tribute. I know the math is right, but maybe it's just like no one's going to read that crap anyway. I don't know.
I mean, I think the most confusing thing about it, Griff, is that there's, someone sends 100 and there's a what's the tribute percentage? It's 2%, right?
Yeah.
In the document, and that you end up with something that's, you lay the math out right there. So I I don't know how, look, for some people, numbers are always going to be confusing. I didn't think it was confusing. Other people should look at it. I didn't highlight it as being, kind of off. But this is because it does kind of deal with the rage quit and what people are going to pull out if they rage quit. It is probably worthwhile if other people look at it and think that doesn't, like, the numbers don't make sense.
Yeah.
My assumption would be people would be confused that when there's a 2% tribute and 100 wrapped X-Die are sent, that the number isn't 98.
Yep.
But then the math is laid out. The math is laid out why we get to the number you do. So it's just a question of are other people going to look at that and be confused by it. But frankly, I don't think the numbers are wrong. I think the tribute's explained correctly. So that's more of an issue of, are people going to read this in the Git book, and is the community going to have to say, as an explanation, going to have to be given to the community as to why the numbers are what they are.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the comms. That's Chewy's job. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, we got to get this hash style specification. So this needs a link. I can see if I can get that done today. Get someone to finish that today.
The specifications at next highlight as well. So here's the privacy policy, but I think the link was bad. And my assumption is that there's a link in the Git book. And if so, then that's where it should go.
Do we have a privacy policy somewhere, Olivia or Septimus?
Can you repeat?
A privacy policy? Do we have that somewhere?
I do not know.
I've never seen
I
one.
feel like there's something about it, but probably is not called that. But yeah, short answer I think is no.
Short answer is no, there is no privacy policy.
Yeah, not something that is like specifically made for that.
Originally, there was a link to a Google Doc. So either someone had the intention of drafting one, but that predates me, Griff. Insofar as, like, no one editing this document since January. They may have messed around with the language, but the please look at our privacy policy is something that has been in the document since pre-January 2021. If there isn't one, or data protection, look, we talk about data protection elsewhere. We talk about third-party application. I wouldn't say it's really a focus on privacy so much as, hey, we use third parties, and if you leave the community, we can't always control what remains on third-party sites unless you go through and personally delete them. So that's not really the same thing. I think in the proposal term, there's discussion about data retention and things like that, insofar as, those things may happen on third-party websites. And then obviously blockchain has, kind of a ledger of data retention. But I'm not aware of any privacy policy. So if we want to just remove that section, we're welcome to. Just got to make sure the numbering then makes sense afterwards.
I think we can add it to the transparency, because it starts with, like, there is the names and the credentials, and maybe we just need to add that we usually tend not to display addresses, like to try to be careful with emails, like private information, and there's one on top for transparency. Sorry, it's a bit confusing that. Go a little bit down. There, transparency, mutual conduct.
Yeah, we're gonna audit the credential thing next spring.
So I can edit the document, right?
Yeah. Well, you should be able to make comments in it.
I found
So-
like okay, a comma was wrong at the 18th.
Yeah. Fix it. Go for it.
And
You
I
know,
think
you
for
have-
the hatch, there's also the terms from the Swiss Association that probably there is some type of privacy policy there, and we could adapt to here.
For what exactly?
Isn't there any type of privacy policy in the to become a member of the Swiss Association?
Yeah. There might be. Let's see.
We could probably just adapt that since all of the hatch members are trusted team members.
Yeah, what I would say is it would be great to have something on the Git book.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there isn't a privacy policy here. I was thinking that there might be something in GitHub because I see transparency. I mean, we say something about like recordings and access permissions, but maybe we need like just a straight up privacy policy on the Git book that we can link to, and then I guess I would pass it to I don't know, Septimus. Is that your role, or is it like? Would you be down to like hack together a privacy policy?
Yeah, I mean, let's try. I never did one, but maybe with help, with also some help from legal at the end when we got it ready, like a last review or something like this.
you put together something, just DM me on Discord, and I'm happy to edit. I check Discord like literally every single day, so if there's something you need me to take a look at, just let me know. I'm happy to go through it.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, I'll make an issue right after this call, and for next sprint, that would be a good date.
It might be more like having something up by Monday
Okay.
because it's otherwise people will be signing terms, and if they actually click this link, they'll be like nothing or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll hack it during the weekend, and I don't know. Like Sean, would it be fine if I send it to you on Sunday? Or
Absolutely.
oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll send something to you on Sunday.
And then
No
Livia,
worries.
can you add something to the Git book so I can just make the link?
I just did. It's
Nice.
there under transparency. Maybe not, that's not the best place for it, but I put it there just so we don't forget, and then we
Let's
can restructure later.
let's put it in its best place, otherwise the link will break.
So maybe legal, put in legal.
Yeah, legal's probably a good place for it. Could even
Yeah, it's there under Hatch 101.
the legal FAQ.
I think you just need to refresh your page. Under this section of their privacy policy.
Excellent. Perfect. Sure. And so we're not going to change like Hatch 101 title or anything. I mean, maybe it should be like under TEC boundaries and agreements.
Well, after the hatch, we can just change that title of the hatch 101 and
Well,
things remain in the same. Huh?
That's what I'm worried about, is if this link will redirect and it'll break the link that's in a PDF.
No, I don't think it will break if you just change the title.
Okay. Well, it says Hatch 101 in the link.
Do you want to test it? Let's change the title right now and see if something happens.
Sure. Great.
Okay, I merged.
Merge.
I changed the title of the section to hatch.
Let's try. Oh yeah, look, it still says Hatch 101. Cool. So it actually still, these are still Hatch 101s. Okay. Great.
Okay.
Are we calling this the TC handbook?
Sure. We've been just saying Git book, but handbook is better.
Great. And then a whole lot of all caps like be afraid, be
Yep.
very afraid.
Yep. I think Libby once asked me, does it actually matter that it's in all capital letters? And the funny thing is some things actually do tell us in statute to use capital letters. I don't think that's necessary here. A lot of this stuff was drafted previously, but it is that kind of stuff is pretty common. Yeah, this is the 800,000. So that's, if we're going to make that change, we should, sometimes it matters when Europeans edit a document versus non-Europeans. And I do think that comma is common in some places, and then in other places, sometimes we see periods. That's fine. It doesn't matter to me. It's just something we got to be mindful of, just to be consistent.
Yeah, that's why I changed it. So you're using the English format or the other one? Like, I think Americans use dot for 800,000.
Yeah.
We don't. We only use dots for cents.
Yeah, this the same where I'm from, but Americans do it different.
Cool.
And that's
Okay.
it, Griff. In terms of confusion, I mean, I think people will understand what the explanation is. I don't think there's anything wrong in here. I think we went through and we made sure all the proposal terms made sense. 2 weeks ago, we went back and really kind of hacked the what is it going to take for something to pass kind of language. Look, people will have questions, but I don't think there's anything wrong here. After you get those last 2 links in for the specification, I think that's it. I think we have a document that can be PDF'd. And
nice. I think I want to just have the specification in the Git book as well, and then I'll make sure it gets in there, so then we can PDF this thing.
And I'll follow up with you this weekend and just, I mean, not that I doubt that you'll do it whatsoever.
I
but
would love the
we'll,
follow-up. Oh my God,
but
please.
we'll just know that it happened because I know that we need everything updated by Tuesday. So
Yeah.
everyone will feel better once we know that everything's
Really
there.
by Monday. Really by Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Olivia, can you make a like hatch specification maybe under the hatch? Like full maybe under hatch terms TLDR.
Yep.
This is
Hatch specification.
yeah. There's full hatch terms and then hatch specification. And I think, is there a way to replace this with a PDF?
You can save the page as a PDF, the Gitbook page.
But then like, okay, we can just put them in here, I guess, and then yeah, that
I think we can have, what we had discussed before is that we can make a PDF out of, edit everything in the Gitbook, then make a PDF. So even if anyone edits that, if something happens, we have that PDF as like a final proof that's the one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the PDF will be for sure in the Hatch website. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident that it will link to. In fact, we might even put it on IPFS.
Nice.
I think we should, just because we probably want the backup of the document, and then we probably have to make sure that if the TEC forum has the same version of the document, so once it's kind of PDF in the Gitbook, it should probably be cross-referenced in the TEC forums as well.
Also, during the hatch, I can take out the permissions of everyone from the Gitbook, just so there's less people that have editing rights while this information is important.
Yeah. Maybe from like full power or something, but I think that we'll end up wanting people to be able to fix problems. I have more trust. I have more trust that giving them that power to fix things is more likely to help than like any of those people breaking something, you know?
And as long as there's a backup, that's the kind of key, because whether it happens maliciously or by accident, you want to be able to revert back to the previous version. And as long as that is somewhere, then everything's fine.
True.
So is anyone still reading this doc and seeing if they're happy with everything? I would say it's kind of our final chance to be like, wait!
Can I ask something? Like,
Yeah.
there it says like that's 1000 X die, or is it 1 X die?
Where are you?
Just a little up, like where it says the amount of X die you use to create a proposal, like the
Oh yeah, that's 1,000.
1000.
I don't see it.
Right there, you just went over it. Go down a little bit.
It has the
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, and this is because the TEC Hatch DAO will not have very many proposals. Its main goal is to upgrade to another DAO, so it's not like
it's not clear whether it's 1.000 or whether it's 1,000.
Yeah, we can go like that. It doesn't need a comma.
Yeah. I see that.
You could also write, you can also do a parenthetical after the number and write 1,000 if you ever have any confusion about a number. And then close the parentheses, and that's really common in legal documents. Precisely for this exact reason.
Good call, Zero.
Yeah. So this document uses the US format, right? Right.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I won't break up the unit.
Oh, yeah, we can do, Griff, if you want me to, after the meeting, I can go through all the 1,000, 8,000, all those references, and I can write in the number
Okay.
after it, just to avoid. This is exactly what happens when you have multiple like languages kind of in a document. You have the American system and the non-American system, and then is it 1 or 1,000? Exactly the problem you'd expect to pop up. So I'll go through and edit that after today.
Okay.
I'm not American, but did my studies like using the American format. That's so I got a little. Oh. At first, I thought it was 1.
Exactly. No, that's exactly it.
I actually had the same thought. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was 1 or 1,000 at first.
So I will go through, and I'll still use commas, Griff. It'll still be the American system, but there'll be a parenthetical afterwards that says 800,000 and 1,000. Those are the main numbers that pop into my head. Maybe in the calculation somewhere, there may be numbers that have commas in them. Anywhere it pops up, I will deal with it.
Eliminating any confusion. That's a good idea.
Yeah, just trying our best.
Cool. Okay, cool. Well, I really, really encourage anyone who wants to make comments. I would say that the next I guess I could wait to PDF it till tomorrow, and we just say like today is the last day to make comments, and I'll just close, or I'll let Shui close the comments, or not Shui, Sean. You can close the comments, or I can close the comments. Either way, whatever comments are open on Saturday morning for me. So Europe, Saturday morning Europe time. I'll close them all, add it to the Git book, and then make a PDF from there for the hatch.
Good, Griff, no problem.
So last chance on these hatch terms. Does anyone have any last questions on the hatch terms, or should we move on to the covenant?
I just wanted to say.
I think that-
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, on section 16. So I went through a little bit. It looks quite cool. I was just thinking. Section, yeah, if you go up, so here it says. This is a little picky, but it says organization provides its own procedure. So it says governing law and jurisdiction. Then it talks about its own procedures to manage the conflict, right? On the alternative dispute resolution, that's cool. But we should maybe just say the own procedures and rules, right? It's not just the procedures. It's not just like the step A, step B, step C, but it's sort of like the, you normally would say like, this is governed under the laws of whatever. You're not saying it's governed under the laws, whatever. You're sort of saying community notions of justice or community rules, right? You just want to make that really clear, right? It's not just the procedures; it's the rules that would be applied under this alternative dispute resolution. Because you're sort of saying it doesn't, it's not under the rules of anything else.
Provides its own rules, its own processes.
Well, the organization provides its own rules and procedures to manage conflicts, right? Maybe it's like its own adjudicative rules and procedures to manage conflicts, and they serve as the first layer to facilitate to its members based based on the it's sort of like and also I would say you agree to waive the okay. I would just make that one point clear. I guess the rest looks pretty good to me.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that, decentralized. Okay, great. Livia, what were you going to say?
Oh, I just saw something that was confusing for me that is probably right. It's just in the section 1 says only members of the trusted seed that are legal members of the Common Stack Association that have a C-Stack membership score. Then it explains what that is, and then after are able to send RepDexDai, another token smart contract on the XDAI blockchain. Is this the right way to say it? It just sounds so confusing.
Another token. I guess we could just say token contract.
Is it saying that RepDexDai is another token contract?
Yeah, on the XDAI
I
blockchain.
assumed it was trying to say that it was different than the C-Stack address. That's what I assumed was why that phrase was there. There's the address for the C-Stack token contract, and then it says if you have C-Stack tokens or you're a member of the trusted seed, then you're allowed to interact with this other smart contract that's also on the XDAI blockchain. And that's the contract where you're gonna end up sending the wrapped XDAI. That's my understanding.
Oh, if we read without the parentheses, it's just that the members of the association are able to send RepDexDai to the hatch DAO. Okay, and just saying that the RepDexDai is different than C-Stack.
Yeah, it's a different address than where any C-Stack smart contracts are. That's my understanding. I'm not saying that it makes. I think I understand it. If other people find it confusing, we can twerk the language. But
I think that we can maybe we can just like pull these parentheses out and make them sentences so that this one sentence makes sense. God, I hate the justified spaces.
I don't like them too.
yes, because it makes sentences look like that. Yes.
C-Stack memberships. I'm just gonna fill up the space with worthless words.
Oh,
How's that?
you mean
Nice.
you mean X die when the second time you say die, right?
Is
that-
equivalent to x die, which is equivalent to die. I guess I can just get. I can just.
I think it helps for the justification, but I think that's correct, right? I mean, wrapped
Yeah, the
X die
wrapped
is
X
the
die
same
is
as X
equivalent to
die,
die.
which is the
Yeah,
same as
right.
that.
Yeah, that looks like X
I mean, you can take 100 million die and mint 100 million X die, and then with 100 million X die, you can mint 100 million wrapped X die. You don't have to trade for them. They're like one for one exchangeable in weird ways.
like parallel
there's-
universes.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you deposit die somewhere to mint X die that's redeemable for that deposit, and then you can deposit that X die somewhere to mint wrapped X die, which is redeemable for that deposit. And of course, the die was minted by depositing ether, or anyway.
I was wondering on this one, if you go down a bit on if the text no, the hatch will send 98% of the wrapped X die to the redeemable pool. How much they contributed. So you're basically saying you can rage quit up until the point, so long as you that holder has not voted yes on any proposals, and until the period has concluded. I was just thinking you might want to just
Where's the period has concluded?
the next one after the hatch period is concluded. So basically you're saying, okay, the one above is like you can rage quit up until the point, so long as you haven't said yes to anything. The other one is after the hatch period concluded, you're subject to the DAO basically. So
maybe that should be. Maybe this paragraph should be below this one. See.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because actually I would also specify when the hatch, like you would say, after the hatch period concluded, maybe you want to re-emphasize what triggers that. Like that should be really clear. Like, is it the 30 days ends, or is it the,
Yeah, it's the 30 days.
It's the 30 days, right? So I would just maybe like, yeah. Yeah, so maybe like, yeah, that sounds better. Just so it's real clear, then there's like, you have this window, and that's it. And then, but if that's afterwards, then I would say after the hatch period.
Wasn't it 28 days?
30. The other ones that we voted on were 28, like 8, 28, but we can double check.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty confident, but we can double check. Simple numbers was going for a simple number,
No, true.
It also says here that it's going to go happen via dandelion voting,
Yeah,
but on the
30.
top it says conviction voting.
Where does it shouldn't say conviction voting anyway.
It's at the very top. Number 1, TC hatch DAO mechanism. It's sort of saying, including what's known as an augmented bonding curve application and a conviction voting application.
We may evolve quickly beyond a classic DAO structure into however this will be ultimately decided.
It's a description of what we become, not a description of
what will happen.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
How about that?
token holds the DSC that is now augmented. Yeah.
This is I don't know if I need to put it all caps, but
Critical.
it's a common misunderstanding.
I get it, yeah.
Yeah, capitals, bold, italicized. If it's something you really want to make sure people get, any of those or a combination of them are fine.
Great. Great. Well, we only have 5 minutes left. What I'd say is for anything else, any other comments, man, I really appreciate you guys stepping up and reading this stuff. I can't tell you how helpful it is. You know, we really want people to go through this and understand what's happening before they click. It's so, and you know, we're going to use this, the common stack is going to use this over and over again for other commons. So it's not like it's just a one-off. So we really appreciate your support in reviewing this, making any comments on things that could be clarified. Deadlines tonight before you go to sleep. So if you do it today, that's awesome. If you don't, that's okay. It's probably good enough, and we'll lock it down tomorrow. The only other update that I would give is that it is TE Praise Friday. We want to really take today as an opportunity to give praise to all the token engineers that have helped there become something to advance, for our community to advance. So if you know of any token engineers that, you know what, this guy is really cool. I watched a video by him one time and it was amazing. It really explained to me token engineering. Or now I understand how like an NFT could be generated by a bonding curve. Thanks, man. You know, like give them praise. Give them praise. Go into the praise channel. Dish praise to your favorite token engineers. And Eduardo's holding a praise party. And you can always join him in the praise party room. So. Thank you guys, and see you in 2 weeks in the next legal call during the hatch.
Before we go, can I just say sorry to Libby, who I've been bugging about the Constitution Pledge Covenant, like once or twice a week for like the last 3 weeks, and I know we're going to get to it eventually, but I keep bugging her about it. So thanks, Libby, for tolerating that.
Don't be sorry. I love that you do it because every time it's like a panic attack. I remember about it and then I jump like quick into it. But I think a lot of what was on my plate is gonna be way more chill in the next week. So we'll have that done and beautiful in soon.
Cool. Thank you guys. Hopefully I'll see some of you in Paris.